Right. Good afternoon. So we started to discuss text-related tags in HTML. So up to now we have discussed bold. Okay, for bold we have B and strong. And we discussed about italic. Even EM also applicable. Yes, underline. Right. Superscript, SQP, subscript, SUB, and strike through, this is S, strike through, and yes, we discussed about headings to H1 to H6, right? H1 to H6. H1 is the largest heading size, H6 is the smallest heading size, and finally, we started this tag, paragraph tag, right, P. But I have to explain some other things about paragraph. I only introduced the paragraph, right? But there may be some other things to be discussed, right? Look here. Right, so at the moment, you must be able to handle all these text-related tags which we learned in the previous class, right? These tags which I have written just now on the board. Okay, right. So P tag is for paragraph. So this is the starting paragraph tag. Thereafter, you have to insert your paragraph. You have to type your paragraph. At one stage, you have to close it. Okay. At the end of your paragraph, you have to close the paragraph tag. So in between the starting paragraph tag and closing paragraph tag, your paragraph must be there. It may be one line, it may be any number of lines, 10 lines, 100 lines, 1,000 lines possible, right? Okay. But the tag P is for creating a paragraph or displaying the paragraph. But at the same time, while a paragraph is created or while a paragraph is displayed, it must show some other things also. So we should understand that one clearly. Look here, I will explain that with the help of a small coding. Look here. I take that example again. This is our file. So let me open that in a notepad. Okay, look, I will modify it. Look here. So P, this is the starting paragraph tag. Now I want a paragraph, right? So let me type a paragraph as, see, this is a paragraph. This is a paragraph. Okay, this is my paragraph, but it is a single line. But as I told you earlier, single line can be a paragraph, doesn't matter, right? So P, this is a paragraph, and close the P tag. Closing P tag. Okay. In the next line, I want another sentence. Say, I repeat that. This is a paragraph. Okay, this is a paragraph. But I don't use any P tag there. Okay, just a sentence. This is a paragraph and close it. Okay, not close. I just want to break this. Okay, line break. This is a paragraph and then line break. Again, I want a similar line. Let me copy and paste. Okay, this is a paragraph. Then I don't want to break it. I just want to go to the next line and create another paragraph. Okay, this is a paragraph. And this time the paragraph tag is closed. Okay, these are the 4 lines written in the body. This is the starting body tag. Here I have the closing body. Here it is. So in between the starting body and closing body, you have this content. Have a look at this again. First of all, we have P, paragraph tag, and there is a paragraph given and paragraph is closed. But look, the second one is not a paragraph because we don't have any paragraph tag there. Paragraph tag has been closed earlier. So this is not a paragraph. This is just a sentence. Right? Don't be confused with my sentence, right? I have put that as a paragraph, but just a sentence. Okay. This is a sentence. So this is a paragraph. And I have closed it. Sorry, I have broken that one, right? BR. Then this is a paragraph. Again, this is not a paragraph because you don't have any P tag. Okay, there is no P tag. Again, you can see there is no break, right? In the previous instance, we have used the break, line break, but here no line break. Finally, we have another paragraph. So two paragraphs, first and last are paragraphs, and the second and third are not paragraphs, they are just sentences. Okay, they are sentences. Have a look at the output first. So I save it and open that web page. Okay, look at the output. Let me increase the zoom size. Okay, 200%. Right, now you can clearly see that all these sentences are shown, right? You can see all these 4 sentences. Okay, all these 4 sentences are displayed on the web browser. But look at them. In between the first line and the second line, you can see a big space. You can see that, right? There is a space in between the first line and second line. So which means there is an empty line is created. There is an empty line. It indicates clearly, right? Look at the second sentence and third sentence. They are closer, right? There is no line or there is no blank line in between the second and third. They are in the in this neighboring lines, right? Second and third. And again, look at the third sentence and the fourth sentence. So there is a big difference between them, right? There is a space left. So see, as you can see here, you have a blank line. So there is something happened because generally if you type line by line, they are shown in different lines. There is no such blank lines are left. But here you have 2 blank lines left. So definitely this coding may have some features, right? We have to understand them correctly. Okay, look here. So look at the first sentence. This is a paragraph. So there is no problem at all because look at this. First one is P, right? That is paragraph. So this is a paragraph. So your, wait 1 second. This is your first one, right? This is a paragraph. This is created or this is displayed because of this line. Okay, because of this line, this paragraph is displayed. Okay, right. But note, there is a big space in the next line, which means there is an empty line is displayed in the next line. It is because of this closing P tag, right? This closing P tag creates this empty line. The reason is very simple. Say, even in the manual writing, when you write paragraphs, you have to start them in a new line. Say, now you are writing a paragraph. Your teacher asked you to write another paragraph. Okay, now she is telling or he is telling a paragraph. So now you are writing. The paragraph has been over. So she or he wanted you to write another paragraph. So definitely the next paragraph must be written in a new line, which means you have to leave a space and thereafter you have to start writing. That is the normal way. Or in between 2 paragraphs, you have to keep a space. Not only 2 paragraphs, even in between a paragraph and a sentence, there should be an empty line left. Even if it is in between a paragraph and maybe a picture, there is a blank line left. Then only it clearly shows the paragraph. Because to differentiate the paragraph with the other contents, from the other contents, we use a blank line. Have you understood? That's the that may be the tradition in even manual writing. Clear? Because paragraph needs to be highlighted, paragraph needs to be differentiated, right? So here, think about this way. The first one is a paragraph, right? So the second one may be paragraph, may not be a paragraph. That is not issue. But this paragraph needs to be highlighted or needs to be separated. So that's why this closing p tag creates an empty line next to this paragraph. Okay, this is the paragraph. So after this paragraph, there is an empty line is created by the closing p tag. Okay, so this is the reason why this blank line is left. So who is the responsible tag for creating this one? This closing p tag. Okay, right. Listen to me carefully because I have to explain some other things. Right. So that blank line is left. Then the second one. Look here. This is a paragraph. Okay, it is there. But note, this is not a paragraph because you don't have any p tag, right? So this is not a paragraph. So you have to break. But if it is a paragraph, you don't need to break because here the paragraph is over. So since paragraph is over, the next content will be in the next line. It is similar to the heading which we discussed earlier. If it is heading, once it is closed, the other things will be shown in the next line. Here also the paragraph is closed. So the next contents cannot be shown in the same line because the paragraph is over. So they must be shown in the next line, right? Okay. This is a paragraph. So this is just a sentence. And we have a break tag. So look here, the line is broken. The BR tag can break the line only. It never creates any empty line. It breaks the line, which means at that point line is, ended and the remaining things will start in the next line. Okay, so line is broken. Look at the next one. That is also just a sentence. So that is shown in the next line. Okay, right. And look here, look at the third sentence. At the end of the third sentence, we don't have any tag. There is even no BR. But look here, even though you don't have BR or P or whatever, then the remaining contents are displayed in new lines. Not here because look at the next line, P. So as I told you earlier, P tag creates the paragraph, displays the paragraph. So what can closing paragraph tag do? It can create an empty line after the paragraph. But look at this one. This is the starting P tag. So starting P tag, yes, creates the paragraph, displays the paragraph. There is no doubt at all. But at the same time, it creates an empty line or it leaves an empty line before the paragraph. Okay, this starting tag creates an empty line before the paragraph. So here, before this paragraph, you have an empty line. Look at them. Look at the space between the third sentence and the fourth one. You can see a big space, right? There is an empty space left, which is responsible for that. That is this one, P tag. This P creates this paragraph. At the same time, it shows a blank line here. Okay. Now paragraph is, that's why the third sentence has been broken automatically because see, the next one should be a paragraph. So since it is a paragraph, it must be shown in a new line. So there is no need to break this one. Even if you break, you will get the same answer. Have you understood? Even if you use the break tag here, the output will be same. Okay, but there is no need because the fourth sentence would be a paragraph. So if it is a paragraph, it must be displayed in a new line. But in between the third sentence and the fourth sentence, there is an empty line. It is because of P tag. So it is too easy to remember this idea. See, if it is the starting P tag, it creates an empty line before that particular paragraph. If it is closing P tag, it creates an empty line after the P tag. But you must understand the reason why these two tags create empty line. You must understand. As I told you earlier, if it is starting P tag, when you use starting P tag, it means you are about to create a new paragraph. So when you are about to create a new paragraph, it is important to leave a space before the paragraph. Then only your new paragraph will be differentiate. And you have to say, we have to show your paragraph as separate to the others. So that's why that starting p tag is responsible for creating an empty line before the paragraph. It creates the paragraph, at the same time it creates an empty line. Now think about the closing paragraph tag. Yes, the closing p tag is responsible for closing this paragraph. It's okay. But even though it is responsible for closing the paragraph, it must show the paragraph separate than the others. Because if it doesn't leave a space after the paragraph, then how can we differentiate the paragraph and the other contents? So the closing p tag is responsible for showing the paragraph as separate to the others. That's why it creates an empty line. But look at the first sentence again. Look here, as I told you earlier, this p tag, okay, this is the starting p tag. So if it is a starting p tag, it must display the paragraph, okay. At the same time, it must create an empty line before the paragraph. But look here, look at the output. You can clearly see that there is no space or there is no blank line in front of the paragraph or before the paragraph. But here, look at this. This p tag creates the paragraph, this one, and it created this empty line. So this is okay, right? It is fine. It is according to my description. But this may be slightly against to my description, because yes, this paragraph tag created the paragraph, but it didn't create any empty line. The reason is very simple. Look, this is the first paragraph, or this is in fact our first content of the web page. See, straight away after body, we have written this. So this is the first content on my web page. So since this is the first content on the web page, there is no need for showing a blank line. Imagine if something is on the top, there is a need for separate that. But here you don't have anything on the top. So why do you expect a blank line to separate? No need, right? That's why there is no space left. But look at this here. You cannot say this sentence or this paragraph is the first paragraph shown on the web page. No, there is something displayed early. So on top of this paragraph, you have some sentences or paragraph shown. So you must differentiate your paragraph from the others. That's why the space is left. But earlier, there is no space left. But suppose if I add something here, look here, I just want to type cat. Now, you can clearly see that this is not the first content. You have cat on the top. So now this p tag will definitely create an empty line before this paragraph. You can see the output, look here. Now see that? In between the cat and the paragraph, you can see a big space, right? It is because of this, right? It is because of this p. Sorry, it is because of this cat. So when you have a content earlier, there is a need for separate, right? But if it is not there, you don't need to have any space there, because that is your first content. You can clearly see no space left. Okay, right. So this is the idea behind p tag and starting p tag and closing p tag. So starting p tag creates an empty line before the paragraph, before a particular paragraph. Closing p tag creates an empty line after a particular paragraph. But as a student, you must understand the reason for having these empty lines. Okay, because to because to separate that particular paragraph from the other contents. Okay, this is p tag. Clear? Any questions? You got the point, right? Okay. Right. So the next thing, right? This is also about paragraph. So I just want to remove these things. Today also I will explain the coding and send the examples and related notes thereafter, right, as a soft copy. So you have to watch everything carefully. Right, so I want a paragraph with 10 sentences. I go to the MS Word and take a paragraph. Equal rand 1,10. Okay, there is a paragraph with 10 sentences. I copy that. Okay, and paste here. This is P. And paste that. And finally, I can close the paragraph tag. Okay, so in between the starting paragraph tag and closing paragraph tag, we have a paragraph. Look at that. I save it. Right. So we got the paragraph. Let me reduce the zoom size. Okay, it's enough. Right. Look here, the paragraph is displayed. We discussed earlier on the other day, but the paragraph is displayed in left alignment. As we discussed earlier, look at the left side. The left side has been straightened. That means left side is aligned, but not right side. So only left side is aligned, right side is not aligned. So this is left alignment. But as a user, you may want to display the paragraph in different alignments. Sometimes you may feel that justify is the best option. In some instances, we may go with right alignment or center alignment. That is also possible. But look, at the moment, it is in left alignment. So let's see how to change the alignment. Listen to me very carefully. This is very important thing. Look, we have included or we have added only the tag P, right? Only the tag P. But after inserting P tag, we got two different features here. Yes, paragraph is displayed. That is one. At the same time, the paragraph is in left alignment. So now as a student, you must understand that the P is responsible for two purposes. One is to show the paragraph and left alignment. You cannot say that the P is only for a paragraph. If it is only for paragraph, then how can you take it as left alignment? Okay, so we can assume that it is responsible for creating the paragraph or displaying the paragraph as well as in left alignment. But now I want to change the alignment. So to change the alignment, you cannot use any other tag, right? You cannot use any other tag because as I clearly told you, P is the responsible tag for alignment too, because it shows the left alignment. So now I want another alignment, maybe justify. So to change this as justify, I cannot expect another tag because P is the responsible one for alignment. So what should I do is I have to do one important thing. I just get into the P tag and leave a space. You know, this is called element, right? We have introduced this word earlier. See, as a whole, right? As a whole, this is a tag. So in between these two angle brackets, you have a word, right? You have a word, body, that is called element. Okay. Similarly, you can see this as a whole, this is tag. So inside of these two angle brackets, you have P, right? That is element. So go inside of the tag and leave a space. And you have to add a word to change the alignment. So here we have to use align, right? E-A-L-I-G-N, align, because I have to change the alignment. That's why this is added to P, right? This is the element. Now this element gets a word align. Actually, there is a common term used to describe this align that is called attribute. I will introduce some other examples later. This is called attribute. So this is element. So for two elements, to this element, I have added this attribute. Then equal symbol. equal. Finally, you have to say the type of alignment that you want to apply. So now I just want justify. Okay, justify. Since justify is a text, use inverted comma, use the double quote. Okay, justify is a word, so you have to use a double quote. So now this is the starting tag. Okay, earlier we have put only P, but now we have expanded. Look again, this is the element P, but we want to change the alignment. That's why this attribute is added. Attribute is nothing. It looks like a characteristic or feature, right? Align. Align equal to justify, because in simple word, in simple sentence, I can simply describe this as changing the alignment as justify to the paragraph, right? We have to change the alignment as justify for that particular paragraph, but we have to write in a format which a browser can understand. You cannot describe them in words or in sentences, so you have to follow some rules, right? This is the rule. Okay, but I have put this double quote because justify is a text. Okay, right? So this is called value, right? Justify is called value here. How to call this align? This is called attribute. This is element. So we always add attributes to elements because to describe the element. Look, it takes some time to understand. Maybe at the moment when something is introduced newly, you may not get the 100% idea. It is not only for HTML, right? Whenever we introduce something, at the moment it may not be clear because you need some experiences, you need some practice sessions. So once experiences and practice sessions are over, then you will get the whole idea. So even for this one also, you will get the same feeling. Maybe at the moment, it may be a little bit difficult to understand the whole idea. But wait patiently, it may be very simple, or it may become very simple when we take one or two other tags. Even in some other tags also, not one or two, in many tags, you will have to apply the attributes and values. But now we are working with paragraph tag. But maybe in the next, we will create tables, we will create lists, we will display or we will insert pictures. And for them also, we need attributes, but not align. Align is only for changing the alignment. There we need some other tasks. So for the other tasks, we need other attributes. Okay. So this is the very first time we started using the particular attribute, right? Okay. I come to the point again. See, the reason for adding this attribute is to describe the element. Look, if it is only P, listen to me, this sentence is very important to understand the whole idea. I repeat it, the attribute align is added to describe this element further. Suppose if it is only P, right? If it is only P, browser knows only very little thing. What is it? It knows only left alignment and paragraph. But by adding this align justify, now you instruct the browser little, in detail, right? Because earlier browser knows only those two things. But with the help of the alignment, you can guide your browser to show the paragraph in center, or maybe right, or maybe justify. So because of this align, you are able to describe this P in advance. Clear? So because of the attribute, browsers can show some different results. Right? Okay, wait, we can, see the output first, then I will explain. P, align, justify. But when it comes to closing tag, you have to close only the tag. There is no need to close the attribute, right? Only the element and closing slash, right? Let's save our work and see the output. Now, look at them. the paragraph is in justify alignment. Look at them, left side is aligned, even right side also aligned, both sides are aligned. So this is justified. So now, if you want to change the paragraph in right alignment, you have to change the value only, right? The remaining things are same. Here, it is right. Save the work and see the output. Now see, right side is only aligned. Look at the right side, that is only aligned, but not left side. Okay, right side is aligned. This is the right side. It is straightened, but look at the left side. Left side is not aligned, right? You can see the lines start in different places. Okay, they are not straight. So this is right alignment. Even if you want to change this as center, type center. You have to change the value, right? Center. So now it must be center alignment. You know, in center alignment, lines are aligned only in center, which means the both left side and right side are not aligned. You can see them, right? The left side is not aligned. Even the right side also not aligned. This is center. So now you must understand that to show a paragraph in left alignment, it must be left. Okay. To show a paragraph in justify, you have to type P align equal justify. To show a paragraph in center, you must write P align equal center. So if you want to show your paragraph in left alignment, it is important to write P align left. See the output. Now see, we got a paragraph in left alignment. This is the way, right? This is the way to display the paragraph in left alignment. But we have witnessed that the paragraph was shown in left alignment even without this one, right? Without this, sorry. Right, without this one, we were able to show the paragraph in left alignment. But if you consider the method, the right method would be this one, right? This is the right method, P align left. Because we have to change the alignment. To change the alignment, you have to use the attribute align. But even without this attribute left, we got the paragraph, or we can get the paragraph in left alignment. The reason is very simple. Look, most of the time, or we always like to show the paragraph in left alignment. Even think about your manual writing. So even in manual writing also, we like to show our paragraph in left alignment. We focus on the left side. Even on your exercise book or on a page, there is a rule for left alignment. So we keep an eye on the left alignment, not the right side. So this may be the reason why even in the paragraph also, even in the computers also, people like to show the paragraph in left alignment. So since everybody wants to show the paragraph in left alignment, it is difficult to write this line again and again. Say you are creating a web page where you need many paragraphs to be displayed. So every time when you want to display a paragraph, you have to write P align left. P align left. So it is tough, right? Because you have to spend some time in writing. That's why they put only P, that P is equal to P align left. So I can simply say this is the default alignment. Okay, for browser's point of view, this P and P align left, both are same. Okay, in browser's point of view, reading this P and reading this line is same, because this has been set as a default alignment in the HTML. So when browser reads P, it knows that it's going to be aligned left. The reason why this has been set as a default alignment is it may be used by everyone. Everyone likes to use left alignment. That may be the reason why it is set. Clear? But if you want to change the alignment, definitely you have to use P align. Okay, P align. But for left alignment, this is not needed because alone this means P align left. Okay, so in this tag we have 3 words. This is called element. Okay, this is called attribute. This is value. Okay, value. So why do we add the attribute to element? Without attribute, element has very little meaning. In order to describe the element further, we want the attribute. Because of this attribute align, we are able to describe this paragraph as center or justify or even right or something. Okay, so this will be very simple when we take some other similar examples. Okay, so if you are able to understand maybe 50% at the moment, this is fine for me, right? But definitely when we take some other example, you can understand the concept of adding attributes to the elements. Okay, but this is the format. Always element name comes first, then there is a space, then attribute name, then there's an equal symbol, then the value. If the value is a number, there is no need for having the double quote. If the value is a text, you must use the double quote. Okay, right. So this is the thing about the paragraph. Okay, let me show one more thing. Look here. I just want to display in justify, right? Justify. So P align justify. Let's see whether the paragraph is in justify. Yes, it is in justify. But now, look, I just made a mistake in spelling. Okay, I wanted to display in justify, but I just put justify. The spelling is incorrect. Okay, now look at the output. Okay, I will show the output now. So you may wonder, after seeing the results, you may wonder the reason why it is shown. Look, in programming languages, when something goes wrong, you will get an error. So when we violate the rules, you will get some error. You know, syntax errors were shown because your translator cannot understand that one, so it immediately shows the error. But here also, your browser here, because in HTML, it's all about browser. Browser is the responsible component for reading and understanding and showing the result. So in HTML, browser is very important. Browser has a kind of behavior. If browser is able to understand your coding, yes, it reads and understands and show the result. If browser is unable to understand some part of your coding, it ignores that. Say you have written some lines. Some of the lines may be understood by the browser and some of them may not be understood by the browser. So if browser can understand some lines, browser understands and show them on the web page. The rest of the codings which cannot be understood by the browser are ignored, which means you cannot get any error message there. Right? Still, you have the chance to see the output because some of the lines are correct, right? So the correctly written lines can be executed and you can see the output. The lines which cannot be understood by the browser are ignored, right? So now see what happens. I will show the result first. See, even though the spelling is wrong, the paragraph will be shown in left alignment. Look at them. I will refresh. Now see that. You have the paragraph but it is in left alignment. Look at the left side, it is aligned, but not right side. Okay, right. The reason is, so browser reads every tag from the top, right? Browser understands these things. Then browser comes here. Yes, it understands this one. Then browser comes here. Yes, it understands the meaning of P. Yes, it understands the meaning of align. But when it comes to the value, browser fails to understand. Because for browser, the value for align are only left, right, center, justify. But the spelling goes wrong, right? Browser cannot get any kind of assumption. So if something is wrong in terms of spelling, it is not understandable. So now browser is unable to understand justify, right? Sorry, browser is unable to understand this word, which means browser is unable to understand the alignment, because the value is nothing, it is given for attribute, for align. So unable to understand this word means unable to understand the alignment. So now what happens? Browser ignores this part. Okay, browser will ignore this part. It is because of some errors occurred, because we have made a mistake in spelling. It is because of the reason why browser ignored this one. But still, browser knows this, right? So assume, okay, this part is not understandable, right? So now browser ignores this. Let me delete that. Okay, browser ignores. Now what is it? It is P only, right? Now in browser's point of view, this is P. Browser knows, or browser understands the P. In browser's point of view, P means paragraph in left alignment. That's why it shows the left alignment. Clear? So this is a very important concept introduced now, the attribute. But at the same time, when a browser understands something, it shows the answer. If browser doesn't understand something, it ignores that one. It ignore that part and show only the part which can be understood. Okay, clear? So this is the idea. So even if you make a mistake, it shows the output. Clear? So these are the things about paragraph. Does anyone have any questions to ask or to clarify anything? So I expect 3 things from you about paragraph, right? The first one is creating the paragraph. That is very simple. I know you can understand. The second one, that empty lines, right? In front of paragraph, maybe after paragraph, that is very important. You have to understand. The third one, this one, adding the attribute, right? When we want to change the alignment, we have to add attribute, align, and the value will be added. Clear? Okay, fine.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So can you please explain the alignment again, please?
Alignment again.
Yes, sir.
Look. Right, look, if it is P, right, if it is only P, okay, if it is only P, the paragraph is displayed with left alignment, right? But it never be shown on right or center or justify. So if you want to display your paragraph in center alignment or justify an alignment or right alignment, you can't add another tag. In HTML, to show some outputs or to show some result, we want tags. But here, I don't want any tag, because now you can clearly see this tag is the responsible tag for showing the paragraph in left alignment. So the left alignment is there, it is because of P. So my argument is, now we want to show the paragraph in a different alignment. So now you can't add another tag. So what you have to do is, you have to add an attribute called align. This is called attribute. Okay, it's a common name, attribute. Attributes always have values. So put an equal symbol. This is rule, right? This is rule. You have to put the equal symbol. Then the value must be written. So since it is the text, here you have to write within double quotes. Okay. Now, what's the meaning of this one? P, paragraph, align. So which means alignment is changed into justify. Right? So if you understand this pattern, then you can understand that to show the paragraph in left alignment, it must be left. This is the way, because I want the paragraph in left alignment. So this is the way. But we don't use this whole format to show the paragraph in left alignment. If we want to show the paragraph in left alignment, we only use P. But this is the right way, right? This is the right way to show the paragraph in left alignment. But even this is possible. How? I told you the reason. I already explained. Every time you cannot write this whole thing to display the paragraph. It takes time, because most of the time we expect a paragraph in left alignment. So we cannot write P align equal left all the time. So that's why the left alignment has been set as default for this P. So in computer browser's point of view, this P is equal to this one. So when you put P, browser understands that it is left alignment. So you can understand that's a very simple idea, right? In computer's point of view, this P means P align left. So you don't need to type P align left all the time. You just put P. But if you want to display your paragraph in another alignment, definitely you have to add align equal, then the value, maybe justify or write. Okay. Finally, you have to close only P. You don't need to close the attribute, right? Only the element is included. Okay, it is not the problem. So when you go through, you can understand, but I want this format, right? Don't forget this format, and don't forget the names represent these three words: element, attribute, value. Okay, right. So this is about paragraph. Look, so I just want to start a new thing, but we cannot finish today because we have only around 12 minutes or some, okay, around 12 minutes, but I have to introduce the concept and start writing one coding, but the rest of the things will be explained in the next class. Look, the next thing is about creating list. Right, creating list in HTML. Still, we are discussing about text related things. Okay, list. Look, you can easily create a list in a word processing software. List is nothing. What is it? Showing some points in separate lines, showing your contents as points. That is list. Your first point is in the first line, second point maybe in the next line, third point next line. That is list. Do you remember the list which we created in a word processing software? What are the lists which we created in word processing? Anybody remembers? The list which we created in a word processing software. Banuja. Banujan B. What are the lists which we created in word processing? Kajanan is Kajanan is Ilakkiyan P. Ilakkiyan P. Dharaniga. Dharaniga. Right. So bullets and numbering. So there are two lists in word processing or maybe in other software. Bullet list, numbering list. So if it is bullet list, we can show the points in bullet format, maybe a symbol used in front of the points. If it is numbering list, we can show the points in based on numbers, right? That is in most of the application software, numbering list and bullet list. Okay, coming back to the HTML. In HTML, we have three different types of lists. Not two, we have three lists. The first one is called ordered list. Ordered list. Second, I will explain. Look, second, unordered list. Unordered list. Third, definition list. Okay, these are the three lists in HTML: ordered list, unordered list, and definition list. Right, we can forget this definition list for some time, because that may be a unique list. You may not have any experiences with definition list in other application softwares. So we can take that when time comes, not now. But now I can take the first two lists, ordered list and unordered list. It's very simple. See, ordered list is a list which is based on numbers, similar to your numbering list, right? In numbering list, the list is created based on numbers. That is similar to this one, ordered list. But we don't call this one as numbering list. Here we use the word ordered list. I tell you the reason, right? Why the name ordered list is given instead of giving numbers list. There may be a reason, I tell you. The other one, unordered. So this is similar to the bullet list that you have created in word processing or maybe presentation or in some other application softwares. Okay, so this is numbering list. This is similar to numbering list. This is similar to bullet list, but this is different, right? As I told you earlier, I will explain that one later. But look here, even in, okay, I take a word processing software. Look here, I assume that you can see here, right? Look here, you have numbering list. Second one is the numbering list, right? Numbering list. But when I click, as you can see, this is not only number, even you have alphabets too, right? You have ABC, right? Small ABC, capital ABC. So how can you name this as numbering list? Because according to this word processing software, this list is named as numbering list. But this numbering list also has alphabets. So, you know, naming this one as numbering list may not be appropriate, right? Because when you see the word numbering list, you may think that it is only number. No, it is also alphabet, right? Have you understood? That may be the reason why here it is named as ordered list. So in HTML ordered list, the list is created based on numbers as well as alphabets. Right? For example, say I have a small list like 1 dot hardware, 2 dot software, 3 dot liveware, for.firmware. Right now, this is a list. Why? The things are shown as points in separate lines. So definitely it is a list. But what type of list is this? When it comes to a word processing or some other application, you can take it as a numbering list. But here, it is an ordered list. The reason for naming this one as ordered, because now see, so when you now see, you focus only firmware. Now you forget about the others. Okay, so assume this list is very big. Okay, take another example. So here you have only 4 items, right? So assume there is a list posted or pasted on your school notice board which has 100 names like this, 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe a result in an examination. 100 students' names listed and pasted on the notice board. Okay, like this. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, but that is up to 100. Now assume your name is somewhere in the middle. Listen to me very carefully, right? Your name is somewhere in the middle. So you focus on, you have found your name, right? You have found your name, and straight away you can find the rank or maybe the number, serial number. So it immediately shows 40. So now you realize, okay, I am the 40th person. So it is a kind of order, right? It is a kind of order. You can easily find your rank or your order. But think about in this way. Now you have the same list, 100 names, but you don't have numbers, right? You don't have numbers, only a bullet is there, maybe an asterisk or something like this. Okay, like this. Right? So you have 100 names there. Everybody has a bullet in front. It is also a list, right? Obviously, it's a list. But now, assume now you have found your name. But now you are unable to identify your position, whether it is 30th or whether it is 40th, because everybody has the same bullet. Then how can you identify your position? So this is the reason why it is called unordered. Okay, unordered. You cannot see any order. Yes, things are arranged, right? But how can you find the order? So what I'm doing is I'm justifying the reason for having these names. Ordered list is given for this list because it is based on 1, 2, 3 or A, B, C, D, right? Alphabets or numbers. In both, you can find the order. Say here you have hardware, software, liveware. So I have A, B, C, D here. A dot B, here C, D. So now when I focus on firmware, I know that it is in the 4th place because it is D. So I know D is 4th, so 4th place. Even if it is 1, 2, 3, right? If this list has 1, 2, 3, I can find out the order. I know that firmware is in the 4th place. So these are ordered lists. But here, this is a symbol, this is a bullet. But now, can you identify the position of this firmware by looking at this bullet? No, right? Because everything has the same bullet, so you cannot. So this is called unordered list. Okay, so this is the simple summary. If it is ordered list, it is based on a number or alphabet. If it is unordered list, it is based on symbol, right? But hereafter, we should understand how ordered list and how unordered list are shown on web pages. Okay, so I will explain them later, but please go through the today's lessons because today we introduced that most important part, that attribute and value. Okay, before that we didn't use it. This is the very first time we introduced. So you have to at least understand the format of this. Later, when we go through, we can have more experiences in that. Okay, so that's it for today. So we can take the other things, maybe creating the list and everything later. Okay. All right, so that's it for today. See you next time. Thank you.